Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy and this is Thrift Adventure. Today I'll be doing a ship with me video. In these videos, I go day to day and I share the different items that I'm shipping out. I talk about how much they sold for, what I paid for them, and what my profit was. So you want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because I always have interesting and unique items, and I'm sure you can learn some new things to keep your eyes out for when you're out thrifting. So let's get started. It was a pretty great weekend. I am very happy because the last few weeks have been very slow, and I just was getting kind of down because things have been slow. But it was a great weekend with some great profit sales. So the first couple of items sold on charish.com, which is Charish. And on that site, you can sell home decor and furniture. This is an articulated brass candle holder. I just thought this was a really cool piece. I have sold this exact piece in the past, and I actually sold it for less than I did this time. I think I sold it for $99 the last time, and this time it sold for $211 plus a $5 packaging fee. I had it listed for $249. And the reason that I marked it up is because I saw that there was some other listings for higher dollar amounts like that, and I thought, why not? I'll try it out. So it is a really cool piece, but definitely not something that I would expect to get that much money for. So I am thrilled with that. I only paid $6 for this at an estate sale. So after Charish's 22% seller's fee and my cost of goods, that made my profit $163.58. Yes, yes, yes. I wish that I had sales like this every day. If I could have one sale like this every day, I would be set. That would be great. So as you can see, you can kind of move it into different shapes and flatten it out like that. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Well, actually, I'll show you the next item. And then I'll read you my titles for both items so you can get an idea of keywords that I used. So the next item that's sold is this fun little hors d'oeuvre pick holder, and they look like little swords. Aren't those just cute? I found this again, I think at a yard sale, and I just thought it was a really fun little piece, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. I had it listed for $69. It sold for full price for $69. I only paid $3 for it. So after Charish fees and my cost of goods, I made a profit of $50.82. This was listed less than a month. The candle holder, I think, was listed for 3 or 4 months. So it took a little while to sell, but not that long for that great of a profit. So I am very happy with both of those sales. Okay, so for the candle holder, my title was Mid-Century Modern 1960s Articulated Brass Candle Holder. Pretty simple. I do like to include the style or era that I think the item is from and the year, so the 1960s. For this, I used vintage 70s brass sword cocktail picks, hors d'oeuvres, snack skewers, Spanish Toledo, Spain. So this was marked Toledo, and so I wanted to put that in there. But I tried to use, cocktail picks, hors d'oeuvres, snack skewers, as many, keywords as I could think of to help people find it. And I guess it worked because I think $69 for this little thing is a pretty great sale price. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. And I will go ahead and package those up off camera. If you are interested in more information on how I package my breakables and hard goods, I do have a video that talks about that, and I will link that down in the description box below. Okay, so then all the rest of the items sold on Poshmark. The last time I shipped anything was on Thursday because we were out of town again. So this is it's Monday today, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So about 3 days. Much better. This is how my weekends used to be. but my sales just have not been as good as they used to be. I am going to be thankful that I had this great weekend. Okay, so the first sale was a bundle sale, and it is this sterling silver chain link bracelet. And this, I believe, was originally meant to be for charms. So whenever I find charm bracelets at estate sales or yard sales, I take the charms off and I sell the charms individually and I sell the bracelet separately. So that was a sterling silver bracelet. And then this is a tiny little Catholic metal charm. It's, when I say metal, I mean MEDAL. I believe this is sterling silver too. And I removed it from a charm bracelet. I'm not sure if it was this actual bracelet or not, because I have a lot of these sterling silver chain bracelets in my closet. Anyways, someone added them to a bundle and offered me $49 for the 2 pieces. I think that I had the bracelet listed for $35 or $39 and the little charm listed for $29. So they did get a pretty significant discount, but I do price my items anticipating that I will sell them, or that I will get an offer, or I will send out an offer to likers. Let's see if I can get both of these in one box. Yes. Okay, so I paid for, or this sold for $49, like I said. I paid $2. So I paid $1 each for these pieces. This again is that estate sale company that has been marking all their a lot of their jewelry down to $1 on the last day, and I've just been going back and getting a bunch of jewelry. So after my cost of goods and Poshmark fees, that made my profit $37.20. I think that's pretty great. These also sold pretty quickly. I think I've had these listed less than a month. I typically do pretty well with the little Catholic charms. So whenever I find those, I like to pick them up. I'm not sure if people like to buy them pre-owned or just maybe more vintage. They just have a kind of a patinaed look. I think they are very neat and interesting pieces. And of course, you know, the people who are wearing them, they line up with their beliefs. And so I think that's great that I can find them a new home. Okay, the next item that sold is another item that I picked up at on the last day from that same estate sale company. So I only paid $1 for these, and she had these priced at $18 the first day. So that's why I didn't buy them. She used to price her jewelry at like $1, $3, and $5, but has really been increasing the prices on the first and second day, and then knocking them down really low on the third day. So I've been going back and scooping them up. So this is a really pretty pair of crystal drop earrings. These are clip or screw back earrings, but really, really pretty, delicate. I believe that these are probably from the 1950s or 1960s. I can't remember. I think I had these listed for $39, maybe $44, but this buyer offered me $30. Because they are screw back or clip on, I am typically more eager to accept offers because while I do sell quite a few clip-on earrings, they can take a while to sell, and it can be kind of hit or miss. So if I get an offer that I think is reasonable, I am going to accept it. Plus, because my sales have been slow, I am definitely more eager to accept reasonable offers to keep the momentum going or get momentum going in my closet. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but I feel like when I accept offers then it somehow boosts my closet in the algorithm, and so I get more views and I get more offers. So I am accepting reasonable offers. Okay, so these sold for $30. I paid $1. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $23. I think that is great. A lot of my sales on Poshmark this weekend were a little bit on the lower end of what I like to sell my items for. But like I said, I am not going to complain at all. So the next item is this, I think it's pewter. It's a belt buckle with a deer on it. I don't sell belt buckles for really high amounts usually in the $15 to $30 range, unless it's a really special, unusual piece. This one sold for $21. Again, this was from that same estate sale company, and she had all green tags at $1, and this was a green tag, so I picked it up. Did I say it sold for $21? Which is kind of in line with what I anticipated for it to sell for. And for a $1 investment, I think that is just fine. Let's see, I think I'm gonna flip this one over this way. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15.80. And this didn't take that long to sell, less than a month. I think I had it listed for $29 and the buyer offered me that $21. I think that's fine. Okay, so the next sale is a bundle of 2 belts. These are also from that same estate sale. She typically charges $1 for clothing, shoes, and accessories. So I always grab belts and things when I'm there. So it is a bundle of 2 Chico's belts, and they are these adjustable belts. Pretty similar in style, just one is 2-tone and one is all silver. I do pretty well with Chico's belts, and I typically will put vintage style in the listing, because a lot of the Chico stuff to me kind of has like a 90s Southwest or Y2K feel to it. So I will always include those keywords in my listing. And I also always put the color of the belt, if it's leather, and silver tone or 2-tone belt buckle. I always put all of that in my listing. I had these listed for $39 each. The buyer put them in a bundle, and I sent her an offer. I can't remember for how much. I think like maybe 55, and she counter offered with 45. I just decided to go ahead and accept that, because typically I end up selling my belts somewhere in the $15 to $30 range. And like I said, I only paid $1 for these, so I was happy with that. That made them $22.50 a piece. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $34. Did already say these sold quite quickly too. I think less than 2 weeks. So that was a great turnaround. I'm going to use the cube box for these. It's box number 4. Normally I use the small flat rate box or the box 1096L, but because I had 2 of those, they fit better in that cube box. Okay, the next item, another belt sale For those of you who are new here, I sell belts all the time. I love selling belts. I also picked this up at an estate sale or a yard sale for $1. I just thought it was really unique. It kind of is a raffia style, but it's stretchy and it was in excellent condition. I listed this for $39 and it was a full price sale for $39. Gotta love me a full price sale. I'm sure you guys do too, because typically, like I said, I price my items thinking that I will, you know, send an offer or take an offer. So like I said, I paid $1 for this. After Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $30.20. I am very happy with that profit. Okay, let's see. So for this one, I am going to use that box 1096L. It just fits very nicely down in there. Okay, the next item is this vintage, probably 1950s or 1960s little handbag. Isn't that cute? I forgot to get, I'm gonna put some little bit of bubble wrap to kind of protect the handle there. I love picking these up. Let's see, I might package that up off camera, but I like picking these up just because I think they're fun and they're nostalgic. They don't always sell for super high prices, but this one sold for $35, which I thought was great. Just thought it was really cute, kind of a lizard reptile skin print. I paid $4 for this, so after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $24. That did take a little while to sell, which is pretty common for those vintage bags. They don't typically sell really quickly, but again, I like picking them up. So the next item that sold is this pair of Vionic ballet flats. I thought these were really cute. I've mentioned it before, but Vionic just does not sell for really great prices for me. Maybe I'm too impatient, but these were listed for a while. I think I had them listed for $39 and this buyer offered me $25. I really hadn't had a lot of interest in these, so I just decided to take that offer. I had paid up a little bit for these. I paid $6. The only reason was because I was at a really great yard sale and she had a ton of shoes and I was just shoveling them in to my bag, but she didn't have prices on anything. So when I got up there, she just kind of gave me a price for the whole lot. And it ended up being about $6 per item. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $14. That's just fine. I'm glad to move these out and I can put that profit towards some other items that I can hopefully make a little more money on. Okay, so the next item is this vintage kind of gauzy cotton shirt with painted flowers on it. I just picked this up because I thought it was unique and unusual. Plus, again, this is from that estate sale company, and at this particular sale, it was a really high-end sale, so she had all of the clothes priced at $15 a piece on the first day, which was crazy for what she normally prices her stuff at. But I went back on the last day and she had marked all the clothes down to $1 a piece. So I picked up a few different things. This ended up selling for $18. It is going to someone in Hawaii. And of course I used Hawaii, Hawaiian, Polynesian, cotton, gauzy, summer, spring, vacation, beach, beachy. I think I might have used coastal grandma. So anyways, it sold for $18. I paid $1. That made my profit $13.40. This also took, I think, less than a month to sell. So I I don't mind having a little bit lower profit, seeing as it was a pretty quick flip. So the next item that sold is this fun pair of vintage red leather cowboy boots. These are by Oak Tree Farms, and as you can see, they are in unused or excellent pre-owned condition. I love picking up cowboy boots. If you guys watch my videos, you know I say that over and over again. But I typically do pretty well with cowboy boots. These sold for $50. I think that's really great. They did take quite a while to sell though. I think maybe six to 8 months. But I picked these up at a small town thrift store for $7. I don't mind paying a little bit higher prices for cowboy boots because they inevitably always sell, and I typically get good prices, like I said. So I think I had these listed for $59 or $65, and the buyer offered me that $50, which I jumped at. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $33. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I've talked about this before, but kind of comparing selling hard goods to clothing or shoes and accessories. Now, I wish that I could have hard goods sales every day, because if I did, I would just probably be done with the others. I don't know, maybe not. I do love thrifting for women's accessories. But so for this weekend, I sold a total of $597, and my total profit was $437. Almost half of that, $214.40 worth of profit, was from 2 sales on Charish. And the other half, $222.60, was 11 items on Poshmark. So I had to sell 11 items to make the same amount of money as selling 2 items on Charish. That means that, you know, I had to work, what is that? Almost 5 times as hard to make the same amount. So photograph, list, clean, ship, store, 5 times as many items to make the same amount. That is why I really like to buy and sell hard goods, even though they aren't as a consistent a seller as the other items for me. They just really give me a lot more bang for my buck. So I would really encourage you to give hard goods a try. I'm not saying go out and spend, you know, pay up for a lot of things, but try a few things out here and there and see how you do, how your profits are. I really think it's worth mixing in hard goods with what you're selling. So there will be at least 2 more clips after this, but that's all for today. Hopefully my sales continue to be busy. It just, of course, makes me happy and kind of lifts a weight off of my shoulders. So don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a couple of days. Hey there, it's a couple days later, and I've got 2 things to ship out. I wish there was more, but one of them is a very great sale, so I'm just going to count my blessings and be happy about that. It is this semi-vintage 14 karat gold and enamel bracelet. Now, this did have the clasp was replaced with a sterling silver clasp, and I did notate that in the listing. But it still sold for $250, so I am thrilled with that. I did have it priced quite a bit higher, only to allow room to send out offers, because if you've been watching my videos, you see that I regularly send out offers to likers with discounted shipping up to 30% off. And I don't want to have to exclude any items. So like on Posher VA, you can pick items to exclude from your offers, but I just like to be able to include everything when I do discounts. So anyways, the buyer started out by offering me $200, but that was less than I wanted to get. So I counter offered her with $250. I think I had it listed at either $329 or $349, probably $349. But I am overall happy with that sale price of $250. I did pay up for this a little bit. I paid $65 for it. It was, I bought it from someone who was sort of a friend or an acquaintance. And so I wanted to, you know, pay as fair a price as I could and still leave myself room to make a profit. So, did I say I paid $65? So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $135. I am thrilled with that. That's really great. That did take a while, a long time to sell, over a year. But like I've said before about jewelry, sometimes it takes a while to sell, and I'm okay with that because for real gold jewelry, typically it will retain its value, and so there's not as much risk paying up for items. Okay, so the next item that sold is this pair of Keen hiking boots. I do pretty well with Keen, with the, particularly with the water shoes or river sandals. Usually when I have those, they end up selling pretty quickly if it's summertime. You know, within a couple of weeks for in the $30 to $40 range. So if I can find them at yard sales or at affordably priced thrift stores, then I will pick them up. These took a few months to sell, but I only paid $1 for them at an estate sale. So they ended up selling for $38. This was part of, I sent out, I don't know if this was 20% off or 30% off with discounted shipping. But yesterday I sent out 20% off offers. And then a few hours later, I sent out 30% off offers on everything in my closet. So usually I get more sales from doing that deep of a discount, but that's the only sale I got from doing those. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods and the shipping discount taken out, my profit was $27.38. Still a nice little profit for $1 investment. I wanted to talk about something. I hope you guys don't mind me being chatty, but it's kind of helpful for me to talk about things. And I'm hopeful that if I'm sharing things that I'm thinking or learning, that it will be helpful for you. And that is part of the reason I do this channel. So I was watching Hustle at Home Mom's most recent video. So this will come out 2 or 3 weeks later. But she was talking about people who are able to weather the storm when sales are slow, are the people who will be able to continue to do this business. So I think I've said this before, but it is very, very important if you're considering being full-time self-employed, that you are able to maintain your positive thought process and motivation without any inside or outside motivation, because it can be lonely and you have to keep up with it yourself. And when sales are slow, that can get really discouraging, and you can, you know, get down on yourself and get insecure and think, you know, that you don't know what you're doing and your business is failing. And frankly, there are just slow times in this business, and you just have to be ready to weather those storms mentally and financially. So this week is turning out to be a better week, which I am thrilled about because, you know me, I try and stay positive, but it's been hard the last couple of weeks because my sales have been so slow. I just tallied my sales, my total sales for July, and I sold less than half what I sold last year in July. So it is considerably slower than it was last year in July. But overall, I haven't tallied it up, but overall, I still think that I am up for the year in sales. So I just have to focus on that and keep working. So hopefully there will be another clip in this video and I'll have some huge sale to share with you. I did list some furniture on Facebook Marketplace for high dollar amounts. So fingers crossed that I will have some money, big money coming in. Okay, I'll see you in a couple days. Hey there, it's Saturday and I'm very excited. I have quite a few sales to ship out. I think 11 items going out today. It kind of slowed down midweek, so I decided to take some action and send out more offers on my items. But this time, instead of using Posher VA to send out a certain percentage off on every item, I am going through on my own individually and sending out offers on each item based on how long I have had it for sale, how much I paid for it, and how motivated I am to sell it. So I did send out a lot of 40% off offers, which is what a lot of these sales came from. I also, whenever I do this, somehow it boosts other items in my closet, so I get more traffic and I have more sales that way. So some of these are sold for 10% and 20% off. Everything with discounted shipping of what I had it marked at. So if that's something you want to try, I would recommend it if your sales are slow and if you're motivated to move out some inventory. I am still really pleased with all of the prices that I got for these items. So there you go. Okay, let's get started. The first item that sold is this glassy baby. And this took a little while to sell because it had this etching on there and it says, Elise Blue Family Law, your family future is our first priority. So it didn't sell for as much as it would have if it didn't have that etching on there. It ended up selling for $49, which is still pretty great. I only paid $3 for it. I am not going to complain at all about that sales price, you know, especially with that etching on there. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $34.18. I think that is just fine. For those of you who aren't familiar, glassy babies, certain colors can be very collectible. And oftentimes, just in general, glassy babies will sell for like $60 to over $100. So you definitely want to keep your eyes out for these when you're out thrifting. I made the mistake a couple of years ago when I found some at the thrift store. I didn't realize that there was collectors, so I didn't even look up comps, and I think I sold them for $40 or something, because when I went to like a glassy baby sale in my town, I think they were only $40. So I just didn't think that they were worth more, but they are. So the next item is another pretty great sale. This is a vintage coral, angel skin coral branch necklace. And I just love these pieces. I think they are so pretty. And they do usually, for me, take a while to sell if I want to get, you know, higher prices for them. So I had this listed for a long time, probably over a year. It ended up selling for $69. I think I had it listed at probably $129, which apparently was too high. I do see some comps on eBay and whatnot in that range. So you must just have to wait a little while to get those types of prices. But I was ready to, you know, sell this and move it out. So I sent out that 40% off offer. I can't remember if this was a counter offer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I had this listed for a little bit less. Anyway, $69. I'm just fine with that because I only paid $3. I am going to double bubble wrap this because it is a very delicate piece. And I think, let's see, probably over wrapping this like I do everything, but I like my items to arrive safely and look nice and tidy when they arrive to the buyer. I only paid $3 for this, if I didn't already say that. So that after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $50.18. I think that's really great. Although it did take a while to sell, I'm trying to rush here, and then every time I try and rush, makes things take longer. The day before I sent out all these offers, I also listed about 15 new items in my closet. I have also temporarily shut off, not canceled, but shut off my Posher VA, so it's not automatically sharing my items. Sometimes when I have slow sales, I feel like maybe the algorithm can somehow sense the automation, and you know we're technically not supposed to use automation. So sometimes I will shut it all off to kind of give it a break and let things sit for a little while and do my own sharing and do my own offers to likers. And it does seem like it helps sometimes, but in reality, I just do not have time to share my own closet all the time. So I'll just do that periodically. I don't really know if it works or if that's why, you know, I get more sales, but it always seems to. So something to try if you'd like to. So the next item that sold is this vintage bolo tie, and it's of a dream catcher. I only pick up bolo ties when I can find them for cheap prices. So I paid $1 for this. They don't usually sell for a ton for me. This sold for $20, and that's kind of the range that I expect to see in the $15 to $30 range. And it's just kind of hit or miss. Some will sell for great prices, but typically it's in that $15 to $25 range. Like I said, I only paid $1 for this. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15. That's just fine. That is what I anticipated when I purchased it. So the next item is this vintage stretch belt, and it has these lion head detail. I always think these stretch belts are so fun. They don't really sell quickly or for high dollar amounts for me. But again, if I can find them for a cheap price, like $1, which is what I paid for this, I will go ahead and pick it up. This ended up selling for $18. Of course, when I'm in a hurry, I just ran out of tape. Always happens that way. Okay, well, we'll finish this up. Sold for $18 with discounted shipping. I paid $1, so that made my profit $13.40. Again, in line with what I anticipated getting for this type of item. I am going to pause the video and change my tape. Okay, tape is changed. So the next item that sold is another pretty great sale. This is a vintage Scotty dog brooch. Isn't that just adorable? Has little rhinestones, and it's kind of, I used words like butterscotch and root beer, just to kind of give people an idea of the color of it. These little plastic brooches, I don't believe that this is Bakelite. They can still be quite collectible to people. This one ended up selling for $42. I did see some higher comps, and that is why I priced this higher. I think I had it priced at $59 or $69. I did pay up a little bit for it. I paid $6 because I did know that these were collectible. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $25.58. I think that's great. This took about, I think, 3 or 4 months to sell, so not really too terribly long. Okay, I am going to, for most of my jewelry, when I put it in boxes, I just use this padded flat rate envelope. For that angel skin coral necklace, I did put that in a small box just because it is so fragile. Okay, the next item that sold, for those of you who have been watching me, you've seen me sell quite a few pairs of these really, you see how large those are? Large bug earrings. These are by Larissa Loden. I had never heard of her before until I found a bunch of these at a fundraiser sale. So I think I got 7 pairs, and I only bought them because they were in bulk. I think I'm going to put this in a smaller box. So they would be easy to list, you know, just take one set of pictures and put quantity 6 or 7 or whatever it was. And it's ended up being a good buy. So these sold for $20. Like I said, I paid $1.50. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $14.50. The next item is kind of interesting to me. So I have a ton of costume jewelry from when I had my retail store, and when I closed, after my mom passed away and I closed that store, I did a, you know, of course, a going out of business sale, and I sold probably 90% of my inventory, tons of furniture, home decor. I got rid of all of that stuff as much as I could, but I didn't do as deep a discounts on my jewelry because I figured that I could sell that online easily. Through my grief and procrastination, I have a ton of jewelry still from the store that I've never listed, and I am having my brother-in-law help me do some photography to get stuff listed. Anyways, long story short, this is one of those, or short story long, this is one of those items that I had just never listed. He listed it for me like 2 days ago, and it already sold. A lot of the items that are left are lower dollar items that will probably sell between $12 and $20. So I just wasn't motivated to list them. This sold for $20. So I really didn't, let's see, did I show you really well? It just has little enamel flip-flops on it. It's really cute. I didn't expect this to sell quickly. A lot of times with lower priced jewelry, it just doesn't sell as well for me because, you know, the shipping cost is almost $7 now, or $6 or $7. But this one sold quick, which makes me happy because I am, you know, paying him to take the photographs, and this one sale will pay for about an hour of his work. So that makes me happy that it is paying off to have him help me out. So all of that jewelry that is left has more than been paid for. So my cost of goods on this is $0. So that makes my profit $16. Like I said, I am really happy with that and kind of surprised that it sold relatively quickly, or very quickly, for that price. Okay, now I have some clothing. As you can see, or no, actually a belt first. There was a lot of jewelry and stuff that sold. So this is a Western leather belt with some embroidery and rhinestones. I don't think, this did not have a brand name on it. It did have some wear. I listed this for $39. Oh no, this is Nakona. So maybe this sold for a little bit less than I would normally get for something like this, but I'm not going to complain. It sold for $22 with discounted shipping. Or no, actually, this buyer made me a counter offer, so there was no discounted shipping. I paid $1.50 for it at that Western Rodeo Princess fundraiser. I got a lot of great stuff, including those bug earrings that I just showed. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $16.10. Right in line with what I anticipate getting for belts. I just love selling belts. The next item is pretty fun. This is another consignment piece from my friend who had a bunch of really cool vintage clothing. And this is a 1960s, 1970s vintage polyester leisure suit with the top and the wide leg bell-bottom pants. This just has kind of a geometric print, but they looked kind of like mushrooms to me. If I find these polyester leisure suits, I will always pick them up now, because if you have the full suit, you can get a decent amount for these. So this one sold for $60. It did have some pilling and some little spots on the top. So I think that was a fair price. So how I discovered that these polyester suits did pretty well is I bought another bright green one at a fill the bag sale. So I paid like $1 for it. And then I was doing some research on it and discovered that these can sell for pretty great amounts. And I think I ended up selling that set for like $150 or $200. It was really a great color and the cut was really great. And the name brand was good. I think it was Robert Coleman, which I had never heard of, but apparently his items are collectible. So through picking that up at the fill the bag sale, I learned about these. And I like to do that when I'm at, the bins or fill the bag sales. Sometimes I'll pick up items that I wouldn't normally pick up, just to kind of learn more and see if there is other items that I can make money on that I didn't realize. So I'm really glad that I did. So I do a 50-50 split for consignment pieces after website fees. So that means my cost of goods was $24, my consignor will get $24, and I'll get $24. And I don't do, or I try not to do a lot of consignment anymore, just because I have so much of my own stuff to list. But for friends and former customers, or if it's the right type of item, I will do some consignment. Okay, the next item is this pair of Everlane jeans, and these are kind of a rigid denim, very dark wash. These have been listed forever, and I really did not get much interest in them. But this is one of the items I sent out 40% off offers to likers with discounted shipping. And then all of a sudden I got a like on these from someone else after I had sent out that discount. So then I sent her a 20% offer instead with discounted shipping, and she accepted. So that always tends to happen when I'm doing this, where somehow it boosts my items. So these sold for $39 with discounted shipping. I paid $6 for them. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $22.22. I think these took a while to sell because of the wash color. And then they had a slightly tapered leg, and I could not figure out what the style name was. So if you know how to figure out the style name for Everlane, please let me know in the comments down below. Okay, the next item that sold is this pair of Keen boots. I just thought these were really cute with the flannel detail and the leather. Plus they were my size, so I kind of thought if they didn't sell, I would just keep them and wear them. They ended up selling for $40, which I think is just fine. They did take a few months to sell, which is understandable because I bought them and listed them during the summer months. I paid $6 for these. I don't know why this is all flubbed up like this. Like I said earlier in the week, I do pretty good with Keen and Merrill boots and water shoes. So after Posh Bees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $26. I think that's great. I did actually, as I was packing up things collecting things to make the video, I did have 2 more sales on Poshmark as a result of these offers. I am just going to save those sales for Monday because I'm a little short on time. So I haven't completed sending out offers on every item in my closet just because it takes a long time. So I think I might be about halfway to 3/4 of the way through my closet. And I'm going to try and finish sending out all those aggressive offers over the weekend. So hopefully I'll have even more on Monday. But just from what I've done so far, I've had about $450 in sales in the last 24 hours. So that's great. I really needed that. It ended up being a pretty good week, or a great week in comparison to my last couple. Thank goodness. So my total sales for the week were $1,284. My total cost of goods was $155, which is a really great return on investment. And my total profit was $856.54. That makes me so much happier than what it has been, because like I say every week, my goal is to have $1,000 in profit per week. That has not been happening. That did not happen at all in July, maybe not even June. This is much closer. So thumbs up. That is great. I hope that your guys' sales are good. This video will come out about 2 or 3 weeks after I filmed it. It is August 3rd, I think. And a lot of people are saying that their sales are slow. Some other big resellers are saying that their sales are slow, but some people are saying that their sales are great. So I was watching Lori's Boston Found, and she had a really amazing July, better than any year before or years before. She said, focus on the positive, try and stay motivated and busy and keep listing, because if it doesn't pay off right away, right now, this month, next month, it will pay off in 4th quarter or 1st quarter. So it's always good to just keep moving forward. Thank you so much for watching. If I haven't mentioned it in this video, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I put out ship with me videos every week. I'm going to try and do some more bonus like thrift with me and thrift haul videos. I also am working on possibly doing a work with me video. We'll see what you guys think of that. Also, if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, that all really helps me out. Okay, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks again.